Hello, hello, beautiful people. Tiana Louise here, intuitive coach sultant with a full moon pick a card reading for you. I've laid out a bunch of decks here so that we can dig into a lot. This reading is not solely about your soul connection, twin flame connection, because here's the deal. If you're on the twin flame path, if you're in a deep soul connection and you're facing any kind of challenges, I'm sure you figured out by now that it's about more than just you and this person. It's really about you doing the work on you and figuring out, looking at, and coming to terms with any sort of changes that you need to make within yourself for your own well-being. That's what consciousness really is all about, being able to be aware of what's happening within ourselves and making changes and adjustments as necessary, not stuffing it down, not denying it, etc., etc. So with this full moon lunar eclipse happening, it's the strawberry moon, there's some major themes coming out of it, particularly as we are going through major transformations and challenges across the planet, particularly in North America, if that's where you live. But two themes I want to focus on in particular are the themes of uncertainty and trust, right? Those are two themes that with everything that's happening on the planet and within our relationships with ourselves and our loved ones, those two themes seem to be being illuminated very intensely at this time. So we'll look at what that looks like for you and how you can work through it. So I will go ahead and get the decks all shuffled and the piles put together, but I just wanted to put that out there for this reading. So let's get started. Okay, so let's tune in and choose a pile. This is pile number 1, this is pile number 2, and this is pile number 3. So go ahead and just think of everything that's going on in your life right now, what messages you'd like to receive, questions you'd like to get answers to, and whichever pile calls out to you, that's likely the one for you. It may be more than one, that's fine. And as you're doing that, go ahead and make sure you like, subscribe for this video, because that's the only way that I know you guys are out there, and that all of the work I'm putting into these videos are being received by someone. I really love getting your messages, hearing your comments, hearing what insights came up for you. So please share that with me. And take a few deep breaths and just tune in and we'll get started. Okay, so if you chose pile number 1, we have judgment, right? So this is all about awakening, understandings, things coming to light. It can also be about forgiveness. Then we have part of fortune, which is all about increase, right? Looking to expand maybe in our financial situation, maybe just in our spiritual knowledge, but in some way we're looking to enlarge our territory, right? And to do that, we have to stay in balance. So we have the balance card here, along with full moon in Taurus, conception, 8 of Pentacles, 7 of Cups, 3 of Cups, your beliefs are right for you, and partnership. So I'm just going to arrange these so that they are easy for me to see and to read. So I think the major theme being illuminated for you at this time has to do with building something with someone, right? We have the partnership card here. I feel like that's a theme that is coming to light underneath this full moon and is very much being illuminated. I'm picking up on the fact that this may be something that's still really, really new, right? We have the conception card, and the frequency of conception actually is inviting us to bring something into our consciousness, right? It's the birthplace. It's where creation actually begins, and before anything can be increased or expanded, it first has to be birthed, created, right? And so what I'm feeling like is there may have been this, for the person who chose this, there may have been some denial or uncertainty around what that could look like for you. You know, maybe partnership has not been something that's been in the cards for you, but it's something that you've been thinking a lot about and trying to formulate a plan around, right? And now that you are aware of that, it can no longer be hidden, right? It's a desire that is coming up over and over and over again in your soul, and it's something that you really, really want, right? We have the balance card here, which to me symbolizes that this is something that you may have been going back and forth on and have finally decided. And look, we have it with the judgment card here. Finally decided for yourself, become awakened to the fact that, yes, I really do want partnership. Yes, I really do want to work with someone, be in relationship with someone, create with someone. Like, I don't want to do this by myself, right? But what that looks like has been really confusing for you. Seven of Cups, right? Maybe you've had too many options. Maybe you've had no options at all and been kind of caught up in trying to figure out why that is, right? But Spirit is saying under this full moon, right, you can let all of that go, because here it is. What you feel is right, right? You don't have to overthink this. You don't have to overplan this. What you really need to do is just let this develop and develop based on what you feel is right, what you feel you want, what you feel you deserve, what you feel you need, what you actually believe. I feel like for this person, there's been some element of trying to fit yourself into someone else's plan, fit yourself into someone else's box, right? For the sake of getting along, for the sake of being able to be in communion with other people. And Spirit is saying, that's not the way for you, right? You don't have to try to dim yourself down or fit into someone else's plan to have a plan. Like, you can create your own plan, but it does require you kind of coming out of this fantasy land about what it should look like and just really getting clear about what you want it to look like for you. And when you do that, then things work out. Things tend to increase, expand, grow, new ideas, new people coming into your life. And I really want to read the message of this card, because I think that is important to this reading. So with this part of fortune increase card, it talks about this being a time where things can start to flow more easily and you will have success, but that success will come about, or how it will come about and how long it will take, depends upon, what else is going on in your life at this time. And, based on what I can see here, it really just hinges on how much or how willing you are to kind of step out on a limb and create from your heart space, not from what you think other people may want or what you think it should be space, but really just from the space of, this is what is near and dear to my heart, and this is what I believe in, and so this is what I'm going to move forward with, right? And so, with this card, it also talks about being able to heal anything from our past, being able to heal any kinds of toxic situations. And I feel like with this Seven of Cups here, really getting out of double-mindedness, fantasy, illusion, not being able to make decisions, like all of that kind of energy, you've been awakened to how that works out for you, and it doesn't work out well. So I feel like this full moon lunar eclipse is a time for you to really get grounded in your own desires, right? And let go of feeling unsure about how you want to bring forth new relationship, new connections, and even if it's with someone who you're already in relationship with, how you want to rebirth that connection into the future, right? Going forward. So in order to do that, you really got to let go of disbelief. You have to let go of feeling like you can't, do something on your own, like you can't create this on your own, like you need someone else to do it. Yeah, sure, you want to have partnership, but it's not that you need this other person to complete you in any way. You are whole and complete on your own, and part of the lesson for you here is getting to a place where you're able to make your own choices. So I feel like that's what's about to emerge for you, is this strength, this newfound strength to really stand up and have your voice heard, even if it's just within your own soul, about what it is you want. And as a part of that, you may have to let some people go, right? Not everyone is going to fit into this plan, but with the part of fortune in terms of relationships, it does talk about, you having access to connections at this time that are of like a faded nature. These are relationships, whether they're in your life now or whether they're coming in, it's part of your destiny. And so I see you really having a desire just to loosen things up right now. Like you've had some sort of awakening, some sort of epiphany that's, even through the most difficult circumstance, enlightened you to the fact that, you no longer want to run away from connection or relationship. You actually want to birth something into your life at this time that can feel good for you. And that may mean letting go of a twin flame connection or a deep soul bond that you've been a part of, that you've had some challenges around, to open yourself up to something new, to someone new that can, bring you more balance or allow you to be more balanced and at ease so that you can achieve. Like I feel like this person who chose this particular pile is a very ambitious person, is a very loving person, and a very lighthearted person, but you've been weighed down with some negativity. Like I feel negativity over your spirit, and you've done a lot of work to get over that. And it's like now there's this seed of hope, like it's like a little flicker of light in a bunch of darkness. And Spirit is saying to follow that light, really follow that light, because that's your path. That's your higher self calling out to you to lead you to these new connections. And this may have to do with work. This may have to do with romance. This may have to do with family. It may have to do with all of it. But I'm sensing that for you at this time, really leaning into your need of support in a healthy way, in a way that, doesn't make you feel needy, but, in a way that makes you feel good, makes you feel supported, makes you, it's reflective of you loving yourself and that love being expressed by the people around you. And these may be feelings that in the past you had a hard time expressing for whatever the reason. Maybe you saw this as a sign of weakness, but now you see it as a necessary component to your expansion and your growth. Okay, so if you chose number 2, let's see what messages Spirit has for you. Okay, so we have windfall of abundance. For some of you right now, money may be a major concern, and that can no longer be hidden at this time, right? It's really having to become the focal point of your life. Maybe you're having to find another job, find a new line of work, you know, maybe you're waiting on some money to show up. But for whatever the reason, the way that you think about money, the way you perceive money is really showing up with this full moon lunar eclipse. And Spirit is asking you to really expand your perspective of abundance, what you think it is, what you think it looks like, and really open yourself up to miracles, right? Because abundance isn't just about money, right? Abundance is a state of mind, right? It's about, you know, more than enough versus, you know, lack and limitation, and always living in a constant state of fear, and understanding that our perception around that is what creates abundance in our lives. And so what you're really needing to let go of at this time is not being willing to talk about this, not being willing to ask for guidance and support, whether that be from your spirit guides, whether that be from people you trust, or, you know, financial experts, people at your bank, watching videos on YouTube, really getting clear about how to, or getting help and support around how to change this issue, or this what you perceive to be an issue around this in your life. What else do we have? Yeah, so belief is a big factor here. Belief, and we have the 12th house of escape, right? So this may be something that you try not to think about, that you're in denial about, and that affects the way you believe about abundance in your life. And so Spirit is saying that, you know, it's time to really let go of that, to really do the work to reprogram your subconscious mind. These are deep-seated beliefs that you've held on to for a long time, and they just don't serve you, right? They create a lot of adversity. They create a lot of conflict in your life, right? Probably within your own head and with other people around you, potentially in your connections. Like, this could be a reason why some of your relationships aren't functioning the way that you would like them to right now, because of some of these subconscious fears and beliefs that you have around abundance. It could also affect the way that you show up in your relationship in terms of being controlling, being possessive, right? But this is connected to past life karma here. We have the South Node, which is all about our past lives, all about, you know, ways of being from our past that are still with us today and preventing us from moving forward. So with this full moon, it's an opportunity for you to really make the choice to start clearing that up. Yeah, I mean, look, taking action. And then we have the Hermit, which is all about introspection, solitude, as well as you know, doing a deep soul dive, right? Like soul searching, really looking at what's creating this, what's causing this. And before I even looked at the tarot cards, look, we have the King of Pentacles and we have the Knight of Pentacles here. Yeah, this has really stunted your growth, kept you from moving forward, kept you moving at a snail's pace in certain areas of your life. And that's been really painful, because you see yourself as this King of Pentacles. And the King of Pentacles is stable, right? He's secure. He's accountable. He's dependable, right? He's able to fulfill his promises because he secured his bag. Like, he has his coins together. He has his business together. He has his life together, right? He's the person that people come to. Actually, the King of Pentacles reminds me of that Bible verse that talks about being the head and not the tail, the lender, not the borrower. But whatever you've been doing in life to kind of position yourself as this, it's been slow going with this Knight of Pentacles here. But that's not all bad, right? It's giving you some time to really think things through, be more methodical. I feel like that is a beneficial, positive aspect, part of your personality. And so that can really help you as it's time for you to really move forward and take action to try and, clear this up. And so one of the first actions you can take is, with this Hermit card here, I feel like this is you clearing your subconscious, right? Clearing any kind of limiting beliefs that have you, stuck in any kind of poverty, lack thinking. And one good way to do that is just by, starting with your self-talk, noticing the behavior patterns that come up in connection with these lack and limiting thoughts and your responses to the people around you when they do, right? Start keeping a journal about that, listening to abundance meditations, sleep meditations at night, sleep affirmations, all of that is really good. But doing something every single day, particularly as we lead up to this full moon, to really solidify within yourself that you want to take action to move beyond this. Okay, number 2, make sure you like, subscribe before you leave. I hope that message was beneficial for you. For you, it's all about changing the belief. Number 2. Okay, so if you chose number 3, well, we have raise or promotion, right? So this also talks about having some sort of increase in your abundance, something opening up for you, something coming to light as a result of you maintaining a positive focus, being willing to do the work based on whatever divine guidance you've been receiving. And I feel like that's been something that is something that's really well deserved, because you've really committed to sticking to your positive attitude, your positive sense of self, and staying in your lighthearted energy despite everything going on around you at this time. So good work there. Look, yeah, and as a result, it's created abundance all around you, the frequency of fertility, where you've been able to be open, where you've been able to be courageous and creative in the face of adversity, right? And maintaining a positive, joyful attitude, probably when you really just wanted to lay down and give up, right? But this has created the potential for something new to grow, to spring forth from your consciousness, right? So you're probably getting a lot of new ideas, working on new projects, working with new people, something like that. Something exciting is bubbling up for you as a result of this. And it's really going to be highlighted underneath this full moon lunar eclipse. What else do we have? Yeah, we have Leo, right? You've been really strong. You've really persevered, right? You haven't given up. You've really hunkered down and just stuck to your guns no matter how difficult it's been for you. And that's to be commended here, right? Like you've really decided and made it a point to overcome any challenge, anything that's been put in your way, and that's just made your heart stronger, that's made your mind stronger, and as a result it's allowed you to create, right? Bring some things to fruition. I'm sensing some real magician energy here, Empress type energy, right? Which is all about abundance, taking action, and creation. And this is number 17. 7 is a really spiritual number for me, and number 1 symbolizes new beginnings, right? So I feel something new is springing forth for you as a result of just doing the work to, keep your vibration high, right? And it's been a result of you not allowing your pride, your ego, to stop you in a negative way, right? I feel like this is healthy pride that's the result of healthy desire. Like there's something that you've really been wanting, and the events of the past couple of months presented an opportunity for that to be deterred or deferred in some way, and you've worked around that. Like you've really managed to work around that and just stay focused, head down on your goal, putting one foot in front of the other to make things come forth, right? So this may mean, doing what you needed to do to make sure that even though everyone, you know, is being affected in certain ways around money or places to live. Like, you've really put a plan in place, and you've just worked the plan to make sure that you and yours had more than enough to sustain, to persevere. Yeah. And as a result, right, as a result of that, you're living your bliss, right? This is an opportunity for you to really, like, breathe a sigh of relief. Like, I feel like you've been feeling this, but haven't been really certain around, like, am I really doing it? Yes, you are. And Spirit is saying, keep doing it, right? Keep showing the world the real you. Keep leaning into your authentic energy, right? Keep leaning into the deep knowing you hold, your spiritual wisdom. There's a grit about you that allows you to persevere. Like, you remind me of the lizard. Like, the lizard is the master of regeneration, right? No matter what adversity, tough conditions the lizard faces, it's always able to shed old skin and regenerate itself again. And so I feel like that's you. What else do we have here? We have the Ace of Swords, we have the High Priestess, and the Five of Wands. So you've been able to move through any kind of pressure or conflict, right? And it's as a result of you really beginning to realize, and I feel like this is the major thing that's been highlighted for you here, the truth that's really come into a clear vision for you, is that there's no one in the way of you but you, right? There's no other competition outside of you other than yourself. And it's like, once you really got that, once you really embodied that truth, it's like no stopping you, right? And that's why we have this increase here. That's why we have this raise or promotion. That's why you're starting to, if you haven't already, that's why, you know, new blessings and abundance is coming to you. So number 3, I hope you enjoyed these messages. I just wanted to put together a quick pick a card reading in honor of the full moon lunar eclipse. I hope these messages were good for you, resonated with you in some way, and keep working through these energies of uncertainty and trust, right? Not everything has to be so heavy at this time. Trust me, everything that's going on externally is heavy enough. And so we want to remember, as above, so below. So we keep doing the work on ourselves so that we are having a positive influence as much as we possibly can on what's happening outside of us. All right, so thank you so much for tuning in. Those are your messages. I look forward to talking to you guys again soon. Take care. Peace.